Hello and welcome to online EWC with free lecture. I'm Nataladra and I'm a high school student from Italy, where I was born and raised, though I have Moroccan origins. I mentor in doing this online EWC course, and today we're going to talk with Maria from Fruta Feia, which is an amazing organization, not just because of the topic we're talking about this week, agriculture, but also because, as we said yesterday with the lecture with the professor from UWC Southeast Asia, if you haven't seen it, go look for the post on the Facebook group because it's really an interesting lecture as well. We said that if you want to make a long-term change, we need to change also how people think and see the problem. And Fruta Feia is an organization that does this as well. So I think that this lecture is going to be really interesting for all of us since we want to make a long-term change. Now, let me just welcome Maria. Hi, Maria. Another talk.
Hey, everybody. What's up? Can anyone listen?
Yeah, they're listening. If they have any questions, there is a sidebar and they will write their questions there.
Okay. So I'm going to talk to you a little about this project called Fruta Feia. Well, as you know, or some of you may know, we're a co-op, a cooperative that was mounted with the main goal of fighting food waste due to aesthetic reasons. So what we do is we buy those products that have trouble entering the regular market, and we buy them directly to who's producing, and we bring those products back to the city, and we sell them to our associated consumers. Because we're a cooperative, people have to sign up and be associated to the project so that they can buy the products. So I think it's interesting to explain in detail what we do every day. That you know what our work sums up to, basically. So every Monday and Tuesday morning, we go to the countryside and we buy to farmers these ugly fruits and vegetables that otherwise would have been thrown away. So we give them an economic value because they're an excellent quality. We give them an economic value. We buy them, and then we bring those products back to the city. When we come back to Lisbon, together with 8 to 10 volunteers, we assemble around 250 boxes a day with those products, and then we sell them to our associated consumers. This is a project that has been working for one year and 4 months, and so far it's grown way beyond our expectations. So to let you in on our numbers, we are now working with a network of 34 partner farmers around the west region of Lisbon. We've assembled 500 associated consumers. We have nowadays 2 delivery points, both in Lisbon. We have avoided over 88 tons of waste from
Uh, uh, okay, I think we had a problem with her connection. Just wait a few minutes. I hope she's gonna come back. That's really, really bad. Okay, let's just wait a few moments for her. Okay, here she is. Alright. Hey Maria.
Can you hear me?
We had a technical problem. Yeah, we can.
It's okay. So as I was saying, although it's been working for nearly 1 year. I mean, 1 year and 4 months. It has grown way beyond our expectations, and we're now going to open our third delivery point in the beginning of April, and it's going to be 750 associated consumers, and that's a lot. That's a lot for what we thought would be a small project. It's growing increasingly. So this is a project that works mainly in big cities, where people are more dependable on supermarkets. So our plan is to expand, to replicate the project to Porto by the end of this year. Porto is our second biggest city, and we're pretty excited to replicate there. Um, what I think it's interesting to point out about this project, it's well, basically it's social impact, not only with the farmers, but also with the consumers. To our farmers, it's been an incredible help in terms of, well, economically, of course, because we're increasing their business volume.
Maria, you froze.
And or anything, these are just as we've called as the others. Sorry.
Yeah, you just froze. Don't worry. Go ahead.
Okay. Have I unfrozen? So we've been having an incredibly good feedback, and that to us is really, really exciting. And also our associated consumers are just thrilled about this. And one thing I'd like to point out is how Fruta Feia has been reducing the distance between producers and consumers. And that's really interesting because people now know who is producing the fruits and vegetables that they're eating. And when something bad happens, like bad weather or something that ruins a farmer's production, people are really sympathetic about it and really solidary with the producer, and that is amazing, actually. So we have this great sense. We're creating this great sense of collectiveness, and that's really helping to solve the problem of food waste due to appearance, at least here in Lisbon where we are.
Okay.
But I think I can now say that the changes that we've made to work have gone way beyond Lisbon.
Yeah, now yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes. The connection was a bit bad, but now yes, I can hear you.
Uh, cannot hear you well.
Uh, yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Okay. So what I was saying was that well, we've expected when we started this project, one of our main goals was to change the way people think and change the way people are buying the fruits and vegetables. You know, not to lead them, not well, to show them that despite the fact that they're not buying these ugly fruits, that is just perfect and excellent quality. And when we started, we thought this would happen only in Lisbon or where we were, what Fruta Feia was said. But the impact, we think, has grown and gone way beyond, the, our country. We've been communicating with people all around the world, and they tell us how the Fruta Feia project has reached their countries, and It's starting to change people's idea of quality and appearance, and that to us is it's really important, and it's the beginning of of changing the consumption paradigm. So it's been really rewarding.
Yeah, that it's actually really interesting. And you told me that you work a full day for this organization. What do you generally do, like in a
Well,
day working with?
right now there's three of us working for Fruta Feia. Although we count on the help of volunteers to help us assemble the boxes, like there's only three of us working full time for Fruta Feia, and all three of us we do a bit of everything from going to the countryside and collecting boxes and carrying the fruits and vegetables back to the city. Well, we also the rest of the days we're in our office and we do everything else there is to do. Whereas managing our relations with farmers and managing our associated database, also like creating and choosing the products for the box next week. Also, like we're planning the whole replication processes, and at the same time we're like trying to always checking if there's any contests, always looking for other forms of financing the project so that we can grow. So all three of us do a bit of everything that we can do to make this co-op grow.
I'll just take this little moment to tell everybody that if you have any question, just write it on the sidebar and we'll try to answer. And if you're watching this video later, just send the question and we'll email them to Marie and she'll try to answer to them.
Yeah, I would say that we're constantly publishing our news on our Facebook page and our official websites, so that people all around can be up to date with what's happening at Fruta Feia. So if any of you would like to know, just log in and well check in.
Uh, and actually, how everything started? Yeah, Elizabeth had the idea, and then how did everything start? From the first farm to the first fruits to now.
Well, this whole idea came to Isabel Suarez' mind when she was still living in Barcelona. So she watched a series of documentaries on the subject of food waste and became aware of this massive problem that was waste due to appearance. And to her and to the rest of us, it doesn't make sense. Just because the food is misshaped or not the right color or anything doesn't mean it has to be thrown away and it cannot be eaten. So she spoke to an uncle of her who is also a farmer and asked him if this was really happening. And he told her that, yeah, that year alone he'd sent one third of the production of pears to the garbage simply because they didn't meet the aesthetic standards. So she became really unsettled about this, and uh, like a few weeks later, she was reading the newspaper and saw there was a contest to implement projects in Portugal for people living abroad to implement new projects in Portugal, and she thought this would be like the perfect timing to well to start Fruta Feia, basically.
Just I can't see you.
Oh,
I don't know. I can see maybe it's a connection problem.
no, I'm still seeing you.
Okay, no problem. We hear you well. That's what matters. That's really interesting.
Mhm.
And did you get any help from government or the local government, or like do you go to schools and try to spread your idea in other ways than just doing what you do?
Well, not from the government, not from the government, but the project, the when Isabel prize for Gulbenkian's ideas of origin of Portuguese origin contest. So she got 25,000, I mean 15,000 euros, which was the second prize at the time, but still wasn't enough to start the project. So what she did was to set up a crowdfunding campaign, and that's what got her the other 8,000 euros that she needed. So from the beginning, this has been a project that's been very dependable and very successful, especially
Hmm, Maria, we can't hear you.
due to the collection now.
Yes,
Can you hear me?
yes. Go ahead. Don't worry.
I was saying that this has been a project that from the beginning has counted on the people's willingness to be a part of it.
Mm, yeah, that's really awesome. And like, if I want to start something like this, maybe in a more little way. So if I just ho- go to a farm and start trying to do this kind of things, what advice would you give me to do that actually?
I think the first step is to see that if in your country the problem of food waste has anything to do with appearance, you know, because from country to country the scenario might change a bit. For example, in Brazil, the food waste is not the main reason for food waste is not aesthetic reasons. So you have to see if what the problem in your country is the same as in Portugal or if it has anything to do with aesthetics. If it is, you'll need three you'll need three main things to get a project like this going. You have to have a network of farmers to work with, you know. You have to have a network of associated consumers who will buy the boxes, and you will need a space where you can assemble the boxes and sell them. So these are the three main requests for a project like this to work.
And do you think that farms usually are willing to give the food or not?
Well, it's funny because in the beginning, when Isabel went to speak to them, she thought they would be really receptive to the idea because she, in her head, was helping them and she was offering an opportunity to a solution for this place. But the fact is that a lot of them rejected the idea of Fruta Feia because they thought that she was either an inspector or just kidding with them, just making fun of them and not taking them seriously, because they were told for 40 years that these products were not worth anything in the market. So this little kid from the city just comes and says that she wants to buy them. So they didn't take her very seriously. But she got on anyway, and she managed to make a few contacts and started with those contacts. and the project became, started to be successful, and
Oh,
and also it started to get a lot of media attention. And from that point onwards, from the moment where farmers started to see for themselves the project on television, they were a lot more cooperative. So nowadays we have instead of being us going to look for them, we have farmers from all around the country writing to us saying they want to be a part of the project. So that's really interesting as well.
and I was just realizing that I don't really know what does Fruta Feia mean. Um, did you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. I was just asking what Fruta Feia means.
Sorry, I didn't hear you.
Like if the name, if it has a special meaning.
Fruta Feia in
Yes.
English
Yeah.
means ugly fruit.
Oh,
It
okay.
was it's a pretty funny name, but actually works perfectly.
Yeah, it represents your idea perfectly. Wait, what did you say? Because I couldn't hear you.
I said that although it's a funny name, it works perfectly for people to memorize it, and I think it has everything to do with the fruits and vegetables that we're selling because they really are ugly compared to the regular market. We're really charismatic.
I I was curious because I was thinking that actually I lost her. Okay, let's wait a few moments again. Mm, I hope she'll join us again. Anyway, okay. Now just me. Meanwhile, well, I think that each and one of us can really think during this moment while we're waiting for her if actually in your country uh, how fruits and vegetables look like is important. Like I live in Italy, and I think that's really important. Like we have on TV all these spots that talks about how beautiful the products are, and I think that ugly fruits are always seen as bad things, something related to. Okay, here she is.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
I kind of lost you there. The internet connection must have dropped off.
Okay, no problem. I was just saying that I live in Italy, and I think that how fruits look like is really important. But what I didn't really understand was the fruits you sell. They're sort of ugly, but they were treated with all the things they usually, the chemical things they usually use on fruits, or weren't they?
I'm sorry, I didn't get your question.
Like the fruits, are they treated with chemical things or not? Because they're still part of the production, but at the end they were ugly.
Yeah, yeah. What happens to most of the products that we're buying is that they don't have as many chemicals as the products that the farmers take to the market, to the regular market, because well, he knows that he's not well. These products will be thrown away. So the farmers knew this firsthand, so they stopped treating the products with chemicals, you know, because they didn't want to spend those resources on fruit that was going to be thrown away. So what happens to most of the fruit that we're buying is that it doesn't have as many chemicals, yes, and that increases even more the quality of the products.
Yeah.
So that's a plus.
Oh, okay. I understood that at first. I thought that, like just start with the production and they use all the chemical things and then something turns bad and something doesn't. Okay, so I have no more questions. Let's wait. If anybody else have any questions, you can write them on the sidebar. Do you have anything to add? Any advice also in general for us? We're also doing a project for this course. So if we want to start something, this is a possibility to start an organization, something. Do you have any advice for us?
Well, actually, there's something that any of us can do locally where we live, which is, well, look out and be aware to this of this problem. And if you have a choice in your supermarket, do buy the ugly fruits because we do have a part in solving this problem, and it starts precisely with each one of us choices. So even if there's not any project like this where you live, do look out for ugly fruit in your market or supermarket or like your fruit and vegetables, and let the the distributors know that you want to eat this fruit that is perfectly edible. And if you start buying this fruit and if you start having it around in your houses and cooking it and showing people that it's good, maybe the consumption paradigm will start changing.
And between an ugly fruit and a biological one, what do you think is the best? Like a one which isn't treated with chemical things.
That is a whole different discussion now. Biological versus like traditional production models. That's not quite our fight. We're
And
more
so if okay, we lost her again. She'll come back. Guess she's having problems with the connection. Oh, okay. Well, if you want to take a look at the website is frutafia.pt, which is Portugal. So don't try with .com because won't work. And then she said you can subscribe to the newsletter and receive all the news, and it's really interesting. I took a tour just like before I start this lecture, and it's really interesting also to see the fruits, the ugly fruits. Here she is. Hi, Maria.
Back to tech. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. So if you have any questions or whatever you want, you can always write to us.
Yes. Is there an email on the website, or they can just send us the questions and we'll forward them?
Yeah. You can write to info@frutafeia.pt.
Okay. That's info@frutafia.pt. Okay.
Yeah.
That also you can write to, I don't know, or on the Facebook group, and we'll forward their questions.
And you can also check our website, which is www.frutafeia.pt. And well, we're constantly publishing news, and you can be up to date through our website and also Facebook page.
Okay. Thank you for today's lecture. Bye.
Bye bye.